It's time for tea, and it's time to bring you all of the latest entertainment stories. Hello and welcome to Tea Time. I'm Tokunbo Taiwo, together with my co-anchor Ife Oshinke. What's good, Ife?
Yo, what's up? How you doing today?
I have to say though that today I really enjoyed our show with Onyeka this morning.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I think that's the best show this far, if you ask me.
Well, because I thought, okay, maybe I'm jumping the gun. I felt it was the best show. I'm glad you think, it was the best show as well. So, because I saw you partying heavily with,
man, no, that was my song back then, and it is still my song till now. Yeah, so.
So moving on to, so in case you didn't watch it, I would say go on to our YouTube page and watch it on Plus TV Africa. So we'll move on now to the main headlines. Our first story is quite an interesting and fascinating one. Yes, identical twin brothers set to marry identical twin sisters, and they all plan to live in a 2-bedroom apartment together.
Man, that's just amazing.
It's just amazing. And they have so many things that are tallying up. First of all, it's one pair of twins marrying another one, and they're all 24 years old.
And what are the names of the girls again?
House.
Chrissy and Christy or something?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that it? Then Zach and Nick, right? Those are the guys. Okay, so apparently it was Zach who met one of the girls. I don't know, maybe Chrissy. It was the one who met one of them first. Then after their first date, they decided that, okay, they should do a joint date in church. And then as soon as the other brother met the other twin, the other twin girl, they just kicked it off from there. So I felt that was like a beautiful love story, the way they met. It wasn't like it was a matchmaking stuff. Yeah,
but they didn't start dating immediately they met though. That's the second one. I think they
that's why I said they kicked things off. I didn't say
I thought the impression you were giving was like they started the relationship.
Oh no, not immediately. So I just felt that was so beautiful. The fact that they met through one another, and it wasn't like they met at the same time. Yeah, it's not like they met at the same time.
Even they themselves are surprised and perplexed about how the coincidences, they're too much.
You know what just surprised me about all of this? I love twins. I pray that I have twin when I'm ready.
Why? Do you have twins in your family?
No, we don't, but I hope I'll be the one to break that jinx.
Okay.
All right, so what just came to my mind was like, I'm not trying to shake any table here, but our popular twin brothers in Nigeria, they couldn't even stay in a twin duplex together in peace.
Not to
talk of a 2-bedroom.
You are over shaking the table.
I'm not shaking the table. I'm just saying, like, they couldn't even stay in a twin duplex in Nigeria. Then you guys are now saying 2-bedroom apartments, man. I really want to follow up on this story. If possible, I would love to talk to these people like 2 or 3 years down the line after their marriage.
To see how it all plans out. Ooh.
So I think it's amazing. Love is a beautiful thing, obviously, and then when you find it. But I think it's like a common trend these days. You find twin kids getting married to another set of twins. So I think it's just
trend?
Yeah, it's more like a trend lately. At least this is not the first story I've heard of something like this. I've heard similar stories to this. But I think what makes this one special is the fact that they are so identical, and the 2-bedroom apartment. I think that's the crazy part of this.
What's the problem with the 2-bedroom parts that you have?
Bro, that's
it's just like two couples that are living.
Do you know what it means to be married and then try to have a family in a 2-bedroom apartment, and then
it's
you guys
only for an initial period. I don't think they plan to stay that long throughout the course
You never
of their
know,
life.
but
I think
I'm sure they want
one
to
of
stay
them
together.
gets pregnant before one will have to leave. Even their honeymoon, they're saying they're not at least for a
4
few
days.
Exactly,
they're staying like 4 days apart. No, sorry, they are going to spend a few days apart. Then they said they will be spending just 4 days at Disneyland also for their honeymoon, and that will be together. But their marriages, they also think, okay, it's proper that each one of them should have their day. Do you understand? So the first marriage is going to be August 3rd, then the next one is going to be August 4th. So I think, yes, that's also great, because I agree to that.
That's so fine and good, but I'm still going back to this, how they're going to live afterwards, because like you said, it's going to be a problem. Do you think it's going to be a problem?
Well, the fact that I don't know. It's quite difficult because it's a dicey situation when you have a woman involved. Do you understand? If it was the both of them, of course they can cohabitate. But when a woman gets involved, it becomes a little bit more difficult because there are a lot of decisions you have to make, and then your wife has to be part of those decisions. So I think there might begin to be a little bit of conflict. You know how women do now. Women always come in between men one way or another. You know that now, don't you know that? Or you don't agree? You don't. Why are you always supporting these women? Why are you always support? I'm always telling you things they do. Instead of you to be fighting for women, you don't want to fight for us.
Say. What are you driving
I'm
at?
telling you that women have a way of coming in between men. You know that, right?
What I'm saying is I'm an advocate for not generalizing. You can't generalize. Yes.
Okay, but out of 80% of the time, women...
This 80%, once again, you draw out of thin air. We're going to draw 80.
Do you need me to pull out the statistics again today?
In your book of statistics.
In my book, don't let us go there again.
Generalize, because the thing is, at the end of the day, you might actually find that they've considered themselves twin sisters and that they will be the best of friends until...
Well, we thought so about our twin people in Nigeria.
You can't compare them, though, can you? You can't compare this set of twins.
I'm just saying that women,
of twins.
They are known to come in
Don't use that as an excuse, because if Lakme was here, she would have rolled her eyes over 3 times over.
Man, look, seriously, women are known to come in between men.
Is that as it's not going to, I don't think it's going to be a problem unless they start having kids. And I know that they're going to know that this is just a temporary situation. And I think it's because of the house situation. Once they start having families, or once one of the girls gets pregnant, they will have to start making arrangements to
All right, let's see about that. This just reminds me of
them. I think, before you go ahead, let me just quickly say that knowing what they've done and all the things that they've done, don't be surprised that they'll just move on to the next house and they'll be neighbors, you know, or just buy a place opposite.
Okay, that's agreeable.
We're going to say before...
I'm saying this just reminded me of... situations like this in a TV series, Friends and Big Bang Theory. I don't know if you're a fan of any of those TV series.
Friends, yes, definitely.
Yeah, but can you remember when someone had to move out when he got married? And
that's what I'm saying.
So it just reminds me. Yeah, so let's just see how that goes. And but like you said, they can become neighbors. Yes, so yes, okay, that could work.
So because I'm thinking maybe side by side on the same street or opposite each other on the same street, because there's been too much coincidences, and then the way it is that they like each other so much. They want to live in the same house, but trust me, like you said, once the pregnancy kicks in, they're going to have to. One couple has to move out.
Has to move out, yeah, true. What if they don't move out? Do you think it would
seriously,
be cool?
Do you know what just came to my head? What if they both get pregnant at the
same time? But you know they can plan that.
That's
as well.
What I'm saying.
Yes,
it's so true that
they could do that.
And then they may not even plan it, and it just happens just in the way they met each other.
Yeah, and then based on the what global attention they've gotten from this, they might want to keep creating such attention. So they might want to start doing things together, like, okay, have kids together, send our kids to the same school, probably even him at getting twin babies as well. You know, it's possible. So let's see how that works out.
Yeah, let's see how that works out.
Watch the space.
Yeah. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be bringing you fresh news stories. We'll be right back.
Sounds like you had a good time, sir.
Josh, I'm having a good time. A shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger. I'm gonna go. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky. Yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I'm gonna make a supersonic woman of you. Don't stop me. Stop me now. I'm having such a good time. Just give me a call. Don't stop me now.
With over 500 flights every day, Emirates brings the world together through Dubai. Fly Emirates for a world of good times.
Welcome back. You're watching Tea Time right here on Plus TV Africa, and we're moving on to our next story. Nollywood actress Tosin Abiola has bagged a first class in a UK university. So, I don't know, should we say congratulations? Or
Yeah,
I thought
big shout out to Omo Brish. Omo Brish. She's
Omo Brish,
actually one of
indeed.
my
Favorite.
She's actually one of my favorite Nollywood actresses. She's based in London, by the way. So yeah, that's why they call her Omo Brish.
Yeah, and to make this even interesting, because initially I was thinking, okay, maybe this is a first degree, but it happens to be a second degree.
And you know, a first class.
A first
and
class.
She has
so,
2 kids.
Exactly. So
like,
she was
how
even
did she do it?
She was like, all her midnight oil that she has been burning, she's going to, you know, say thank you to her 2 kids.
And you know what
everyone.
was so beautiful? The fact that she now penned a letter to her kids while she was saying this, talking about all the time she missed, all the mommy time, all the time she couldn't see a movie with them, all the time she couldn't attend school functions. And I felt, oh yes, now this is a good mother. At least she knew that she should have time for them.
Yeah.
But do you know what I thought she would write at the end? Okay, now that this is over, I'll have more time for you guys. But she never said that. So I was like, this is a proper career woman. She still plans on going further.
No, but I think she will, even if she does that eventually, she will have to spend some time with those children at some point. So I think she must have planned it that, okay, I will have all this quality time with them once I get it. And now that she has had it, I think even if she wants to do anything career-wise, she will probably give herself maybe a year or 2, maybe to even relax, because all of that brain, because I remember when I studied and I did my own degree, I was just like, after finishing, I was like, seriously, I don't want to open another book.
Yes,
exactly. So
I thought so too, but at some point you figure out that, man, you need it.
More.
Yeah, because you need to have.
What I'm saying is that she's going to be at that point where she's going to say, okay, I need just a quick break to just rest out my brain and stuff. So she may change her mind later. She may get, like you say, into her career again, but I think she will give herself some time back. And now that she's actually got first class, I think she's going to treat herself, maybe a holiday, all of them, you know, who knows what she's going to do. But it's definitely very, very commendable.
Yeah, and then this is a lesson to a lot of actresses and actors out there, especially the ones who don't think that education is key. You get, because education is actually key. There's actually nothing you can actually do in this world without education. There are things you can do, but you have an edge over other people with your education. So I think this is like, there was this guy, Odunlade, this Yoruba actor too, who graduated from Unilag.
The popular Odunlade?
The memes guy. Yeah. Okay. So that Odunlade too, he graduated from Unilag recently, and you see, so I think a lot of them are beginning to know that, okay, no matter the success you attain in this, should I call it a trade, or in this business, the show business?
Showbiz industry.
Yeah, show business, yeah. They still have to go back to school and try to get their education right. But in her case, she's not going to school to get, this is her 2nd degree, so big ups to her. I think she's the real MVP in this case.
Yes. On that note, we're going to move on to our next story, which is one on Fela's ex-band player who is helping to fight drug abuse in Nigeria. This is also one of those commendable stories once again. You know, so he's doing very well. And what I was like, okay, why is he doing this? You know me, I always like to know the reasons why people are engaging in good causes. And then I found out that, okay, he was also battling drugs for like 10 good years.
Yeah.
So
he used drugs from 1984 to 1994.
Yeah.
And then this guy played with Fela side by side. He even has pictures to prove it. And from his interview, he had a personal relationship with Fela. He was one of those guys that could walk to Fela and gist with Fela. And then the way he left drug too, it was still Fela sending his boys to go and beat him up because he had done something wrong against Fela. He stole some of his money while Bash Ali was spraying him on stage. And because he was hooked on drugs, he went on stage. And he said it was really, really rugged way back then. So like he could get away with anything. He used to spend all his hours in all his days in area F. They used to arrest him all the time. It was like a second home for him. And all of that. So it was really battling the drug addiction. And it was really terrible from the interview because I watched it. And I think in this case, it is very commendable what it's doing because not a lot of drug addicts that were hooked for up to 10 years are able to get out of it. Talk less of helping other people get out of it. So I find this very motivational.
It's just reminding me of Demi Lovato. Look, after 6 years, she even relapsed.
And then she relapsed. And then this guy, since 1994, he said he has been clean for 23 years now. And this is somebody that used to live in Kalakuta. Kalakuta is known for drug use. He actually got introduced to cocaine in 1984 by someone who saw him playing on stage and was like, oh, the way you play is so charismatic. People that play like you, they use a certain drug. And he was like, what drug? He said he had never heard of cocaine in his life. And then this person was like, oh, it's cocaine. And then they gave him coke and then they stepped it down with heroin. And that was how he got hooked. And from my research, I discovered that it could only take one time in most cases for you to get hooked on heroin. I think with cocaine, you can still avoid. Some people get hooked the first time, but you can still avoid. But with heroin, the day you try it, that's the day you get hooked. Well, I stand to be corrected. I'm just saying, but from my research, that was...
You see where I would have had an issue is if you had pulled some figure out of thin air again.
Oh, no.
But you're not giving figures. So
no, that's why I said I stand to be corrected. So this is just from my research. And so this is somebody that, man, I think he should be given some kudos. And then he listed a couple of reasons why he thinks Nigerian youths and teenagers are using drugs. And it's even against the government that, look.
Yeah, I remember him saying
this codeine, should I call it an epidemic? Can I?
No, because it applies to diseases.
Oh, okay. I can't call it. No, that's what I'm asking you now. You know you're the English teacher.
Technically speaking, an epidemic has to do with diseases.
Yeah,
so.
But
you can say it's a disease of the society.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You can use it metaphorically.
Yeah, that was what I meant. Now I thought you would get the message.
Oh yeah, right.
My English teacher. Okay, so this codeine thing that BBC came to report in Nigeria. It wasn't until BBC came to talk about this that the Nigerian government now placed the ban on codeine. But let's face it, codeine is not the only drug.
I think what he's talking about is not just codeine. I think he's talking about drug.
Yes, now I'm talking also from his point of view and from my standpoint as well. Like codeine is not the only drug. What are we doing about people that smoke marijuana? What are we doing about people?
No, but what I'm saying is that anyone who is fighting it is not fighting one particular drug. They're just saying drug
I'm talking about the Nigerian government now. I'm not talking about this guy.
They're looking at everything. They're not just looking at only just codeine. Just
but everybody is talking about codeine. No, we're fighting drug abuse, and the first thing we have just banned codeine recently. Is codeine the only thing? Why are we not cracking down on trap houses
Trust me,
everywhere?
It doesn't come out on the news every day, but I know that they're doing things.
They're coming down on it. Well, are you pulling that from your book of statistics too now?
Did I come out with fake figures?
I'm just saying.
We do have the NDLEA now. We do have agencies that are monitoring these things.
Okay, maybe that's why Illbliss was harassed recently over tramadol. Maybe that's part of their battle against drugs and all. But look, the thing is, they are not doing enough based on heroin, cocaine, because they are not so popular like the codeines, like the Rohypnol, like the tramadols. You know, those are the popular ones, and those are like the ones they are really showing that they are battling. You get? So this guy is saying that, look, he had done an interview as way back as 4 years ago, 5 years ago with NTA, but the government didn't do anything about it, and now they're coming to talk about it. So,
all right, I think we're going to wrap it up on that note. Let's quickly take a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you news on French Montana. Stay here.
Could you please sign your autograph? Sorry, your signature.
My search is over. All I have ever wanted, I found in you. Everything that I need, I find it all here. Delivered with love to me. That's why I trust you totally. 'Cause happiness has set me free. I am happy. I found happiness. My heart beats to the beat of my conga. I've searched and found what
Bonga.com, Nigeria's largest online mall.
Welcome back. It's tea time, the afternoon edition, and our next story, as mentioned before the break, is on French Montana. Armed robbers have broken into the rapper's home. Okay, so, Ife, reaction?
Well, it's not new because I didn't see this as a big deal because these people are fans that break into their houses all the time, even their own fans. Yeah,
they have stalkers.
Yeah, they have stalkers.
Like so, Rihanna, I just remembered Rihanna's stalker that actually stayed in the house for like
that also happened to Selena Gomez, whom he bought the house from. In that same house, there was a stalker found at Selena Gomez's house way back then, and then she sold the house to French Montana, and then the same thing is happening in the house. But in this case now, they said they're armed men because they came in with guns, and then people, the residents saw them leave, and before the police could get there, they had left. So nobody has been able to confirm if French Montana was actually in the house then, but they received a 911 call saying that, oh, there's been an armed robbery. Nobody has disclosed how much was taken or what exactly was taken stolen from the house. So I think this is still developing. So yeah, we'll just look out for it and see how it turns out.
Okay. Yeah. Has anyone made it issued out a statement himself, like
no, he personally hasn't issued out any statement. That's why we haven't been able. The spokesperson. That's why we haven't been able to confirm if he was in the house as at the time of the robbery, or it's just one of these cases when they are probably performing somewhere, and then these people get information like, oh, French won't be in the house. Because I can imagine how someone like French Montana's house would be on a day. I don't think it should be somewhere you can just walk into. These people have parties every day. They have friends flocking around, unless maybe times when they want to buy
live like in very large houses, and sometimes you can't be in everywhere at once, even though you have a whole household full of stuff, you know, sometimes. And you know, people are not so vigilant. Like in these big houses, you're just like, but although there'll be security systems and everything, but what I'm saying is that you can hide here, and within the next 10 minutes before you maneuver to your next place. Do you know how it works? You've seen it in movies, Mission Impossible, and all those equipments that they use, you know, to run around.
Now you're beginning to act a movie.
I'm taking it to you
in your mind.
It's far-fetched now. But what I'm saying is that it's a possibility at the end of the day, and it's not every day that these guys have parties. Sometimes they just want to chill out and rest, and you know, be hiding in one part of the room.
Maybe it's possible it's one of those days, but man, if I was French Montana, all my guys are ballers. Do you
have a party every day?
All my guys are ballers.
Seriously, do you have a party every day?
All my girls are coming true. You know that song? That's the lifestyle, bro. So I think someone like French Montana, that's what he would be doing, because even his boss, Diddy, always, when I say always.
Not every day, though. I mean, like from the weekend.
When I say always, Tokumbo, I did the research. This one is not my book of statistics. So this one, I did my research on this. Every time, Diddy has people all over his screen.
Yes, you can be every time, but not every single day. It would drive anyone crazy. Okay. Yes, they have their times when they just chill out.
I think they have times when they just travel and go and stay somewhere and calm. Chill, but not in your... You know, why will I buy a mansion if I cannot throw parties every day, my brother? What's wrong with you now?
Seriously. You think that's how it happens? I don't think so. You throw parties, like I say, as much as possible, but it's not an everyday
So you're asking if I throw parties every day?
I'm saying even you, as fly as you are, as social as you are.
I don't have a mansion, bro. I don't have a mansion.
You don't have regular parties.
Even the small space I have, come on, man, every Friday. Oh, my guys are ballers.
That's what I'm saying. So every weekend, and their weekend usually starts from Wednesday, Thursday. So at least Monday, Tuesday, you know they're chilling, they're just relaxing. And these guys stalk, like you say, they stalk before they do their business. You know, so they don't. If you just do armed robbery just like that, then you guys haven't planned and you're just waiting to get caught.
What if this was an assassination attempt?
No, he would have been at home.
I'm just joking, bro. How can you take me seriously?
Because he would have been at home, because like you said, he wasn't even at home. Oh, if the things you do sometimes. Last thoughts before we move on?
Well, we just hope it's all right, since no statement has been issued yet. But if it wasn't fine, I'm sure we would have heard something about it. And yes, like we always say, watch the space, as it's still a developing story. You know, if anything comes up.
But I'm really quite surprised, though, that because normally when you hear of robbery, you would have heard that, okay, this was what was stolen, or or this was what was taken, or this was the cash that was taken, and this were the jewelry that were taken. You know, but it's unfortunate that the news has come out, but the information
stolen.
Even sometimes when they want to keep it under wraps, at least we know what was taken. They reveal that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's time to wrap up the show. Join us tomorrow for fresh episodes with fresh stories. Until then, a big thank you to my co-anchor, Ife Oshunkeye, the entire production team, our stylist courtesy of Kudi Empire. I'm Tokumbo Taiwo, and saying enjoy the rest of your day.